Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we're going to be talking once more about SOS Cloud. I've done this video before where I talked about SOS, the due diligence, technical analysis, and today I'm hoping to give you an update onto this one, followed by technical analysis, what I think about this one and what's going on. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So SOS Cloud. Again, my last video is in the description below. We don't see much news happening since May 18th. It's been more of a snooze fest and it's really quiet. But to give you an update, just in case you never heard about SOS Cloud, they have different product services, including rescue services, information services, blockchain, rescue card, and other applications like medical apparatus. Now, in terms of why SOS has received a lot of buzz this year, it was mainly towards their mining rigs and their big cryptocurrency mining operations, mainly in Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, in a sense, something happened with Bitcoin relating towards the Chinese government, Elon Musk, some governments not really showing support for it, and it really tanked from closer to $60,000 all the way down to 32 to 36, 37. It's been going on back and forth between around almost 31,000 and 40,000 USD. And with that, SOS kind of fluctuates back and forth into that. Now, another thing, or one of the biggest reasons why Bitcoin itself doesn't have a strong support is because it taps onto the grid. Now, SOS has already mentioned that their energy consumption is 90%, or 90% of their energy consumption is coming in from renewable resources. By the way, that's my last video, so if you'd like to watch that, you can watch it in my description below. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe in the bottom right corner and turn notifications on. If you'd like to join our Discord, it's in the description below. But we get to see that SOS is targeting 90% of the energy to be renewable energy. Now, I do anticipate as well other cryptocurrencies that probably Elon will have support of later on. Whatever it is, these guys will probably look to mine it. Now, the problem with Bitcoin and Ethereum is not more of an SOS problem, it's more of a cryptocurrency problem in general relating towards tapping onto the grid. But in a sense, you see that they're very conscious towards getting to renewable energy, and that's definitely something that is positive. And again, it is defending that region or that ideology of that cryptocurrency needs to be more towards the renewable energy part, and they're doing their part in that sense. Now, in terms of institutional buyers, it's been a snooze fest ever since the 21st of May. So the last PR they had was on the 18th. Ever since the 21st of May, we don't see much activity. But from mid-May and early May, you get to see that institutional buyers were incredibly bullish towards SOS. And that's always a good thing to see. Now, on the other hand, short interest towards SOS. You're looking at around 1 million shares available to be shorted from SOS currently, with the border rate being around 1431, and the short volume is one of its highs currently around 2786 on today, or sorry, last night. So on the 8th, you're looking into the 7th was around 1450, on the 3rd was around 23%, and on the 27th was around 24%. So currently you had around 4.8 million shares on the short side. We don't have exact short information, but the short ratio here is around 0.46. So that's a little bit concerning, but in a sense, I don't anticipate this one to have more of a short squeeze because I don't think it's up there in the short interest. Now we can take a look into other things, like for instance, if we were to go to currently to Yahoo and check the short interest over there, it will most likely be as well 0 or not show you much details. So if you go to Yahoo SOS, you go to statistics, and you scroll down here on the bottom right, you're seeing a float of around 171.26 million shares, and the shares shorted is around 19.6 million. So around 10.9% of the entire short or entire float is being shorted. So this is definitely a considerable short ratio, but it's not up there. It's more of closer to the average, around 10% to 15%. So a short squeeze might not be the target for this one. But on other news, if you were to look into the Bitcoin fluctuations, you probably can trade SOS, and they've been very quiet. So there's not much to say on that. We can move on towards technical analysis. So on the 1 month, 1 day perspective, you're starting to see that the 10 SMA here, the green line, is curving up towards the 30 EMA. And once they cross, usually that is more of a very bullish indicator. You're only a couple of days away from it crossing off. Now, the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA are doing the reverse action, where the 50 SMA is going down and the 200 SMA is going up, which usually indicates a weakness in the movement itself and more of a prolonged accumulation. Now, in terms of the MACD, this is actually positive and stabilized. Momentum is positive and it's kind of giving you that sense of motion that you're more of going on with a momentous bullish movement, all the way from 275 to a high of $4 today. The ADX doesn't show you much because it's saying that there is a potential of a trend to form, but it's a little bit further away to see that trend from now. The willing percent R shows it's currently overbought. Now, on the 1 week perspective though, we're starting to see that the MACD is actually curving a little bit upwards, and you're only a couple of weeks away from an inevitable reversal. And if we were to look into the stochastic fast and stochastic slow, what you're seeing is that they most potentially likely to have another leg up. Now, in terms of the Bollinger Band, which is more of a momentum average, moving average band, a momentous volume band, you're seeing that this one is expected to trade on the top at 403 and in the bottom at 276. Now, from a Fibonacci retracement, you're seeing that this one has a resistance level at the 1466, 681, 854, 1028, 1275, and up to 1588. The only current support on the Fibonacci retracements is actually the 120. But if we were to use just price line actions, you're seeing a very strong support currently sitting at the 386 level. Below there, you're looking at 335. Below there, 295. And then going down towards 259, 199, and then 175. You scroll down just a little, 180 actually, not 175, and then down to 121. Now the current resistances, you're seeing a very strong resistance sitting at the 393, exactly where it is right now. 441, and then 479, following that around 611, 693, and then going to 817, 870, and then 980, going to 1055, and then 1189, 1239, and 1366. Comes to the question to Ed, what do you actually think about this one? Now, from my own perspective towards this one, I think that it is going along with Bitcoin, and I think in the longer future, they have enough capital to invest in whatever kind of cryptocurrency Elon and a lot of backings come to it towards a greener, greener energy, more efficient cryptocurrency. Now, from my own perspective, at the current level, I think Bitcoin is kind of sliding back and forth. It doesn't have the strong support it did have from people like Elon and Tesla, and the Chinese government, which holds the majority of mining operations, are basically putting in a tight loop onto Bitcoin itself. And in a sense, I do think that it's a dangerous position, because if Bitcoin, for some whatever reason, I don't know what that would be, it drops down to $10,000, this will follow. But if Bitcoin jumps up to $70,000, this will follow. And one thing I know is that there's not much fundamentals behind cryptocurrency in general, but there's applications and speculations. So I'm able to create speculations in whatever way. You know what? We're going to Mars. The new cryptocurrency will be Bitcoin on Mars, and this is the future. You can always say that. You know, some people will believe you, and some people will speculate, and they have every right to speculate, and SOS will probably skyrocket because of that. But in a sense, I'm not able to give you that kind of information. I do think that SOS has potential. I do think that they are environmentally aware. I do think their fundamentals might be just a tad overvalued, but still fair compared to the others in the market. And I do think that they do know what they're doing relating towards cryptocurrency. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.